Look, I understand exactly what you have been going through since you brought home your adorable puppy. You are completely head over heels in love, but then you find yourself running on only 3 hours of sleep, pulling random objects out of their mouth every 5 minutes, and feeling stressed out of your mind over what you should be feeding them. The breeder tells you one thing, Google tells you another, and you are just sitting there thinking, what if I mess this up? If that is you, please take a deep breath. Because what if I told you that you do not need to be stressed anymore? What if I told you that you do not need to buy a $100 bag of designer puppy food just to guarantee your dog grows up perfectly healthy? If you saw the title of this video, you saw the promise. Today, I am going to share the ultimate veterinary blueprint for puppy growth. I am going to teach you exactly how to take a standard bowl of puppy kibble and supercharge it using 3 simple, inexpensive kitchen ingredients. These 3 things will literally program their immune system for life, drastically boost their brain power, and bulletproof their growing joints. As a veterinarian, puppy visits are my absolute favorite appointments of the day. However, I also see the deep, heavy anxiety in the eyes of pet parents. I want to take that anxiety entirely off your shoulders today. Grab a cup of coffee and a notebook, because today we are doing a complete masterclass on canine development. We are going to talk about the immunity gap, the magic of DHA for brain training, and how to safely protect their fragile, growing skeleton. And at the very end of the video, I am going to give you a secret behavioral trick to do while they eat that will guarantee they never act aggressively at the groomer or the vet. Let's give your puppy the absolute best start in life together. We need to talk about the timeline of their developing body and the vulnerability window known as the immunity gap. I need to share a massive biological secret with you. The puppy phase of your dog's life is not just about them getting bigger. This early growth window is the only time in their entire life that you can actually program their immune system. What you put into their bowl right now dictates whether they will suffer from severe skin allergies when they are 5 years old or terrible arthritis when they are 10. But during this specific puppy phase, they are in intense danger. It is a period we call the immunity gap. Let me explain the biology. When a puppy is born, and for the first few weeks of their life, they drink their mother's milk. That mother's milk is packed with maternal antibodies. The mother's immune system literally acts like a biological shield protecting the puppy from deadly diseases like parvovirus and distemper. But right around the time they are weaned and you bring them into your home, those maternal antibodies drastically drop off. The mother's shield vanishes. As puppies explore the world and put absolutely everything in their mouth, their own immune system is weak, immature, and completely naked. They are highly susceptible to severe stomach bugs, parasites, and deadly viruses. So, how do we close this immunity gap? How do we rapidly build their internal armor so they don't get sick? We have to go to the gut. In veterinary medicine, we know that up to 80% of a dog's entire immune system lives inside their gastrointestinal tract. Their stomach and intestines are essentially the headquarters of their immune defense. If we want to close the immunity gap, and if we want to program their body to never develop severe food or environmental allergies later in life, we must seed their gut with massive amounts of good bacteria right now. To do this, we are going to add one incredible natural liquid to their kibble: raw goat's milk, or plain unsweetened kefir. Let's talk about raw goat's milk first. In the holistic veterinary world, raw goat's milk is practically considered liquid gold for puppies. It is naturally packed with incredibly diverse strains of living probiotics, digestive enzymes, and immune-boosting vitamins. Because the fat molecules in goat's milk are much smaller than cow's milk, it is incredibly easy for a puppy's sensitive stomach to digest without causing any upset. When you pour a tiny splash of raw goat's milk over their dry kibble, you are flooding their empty gut microbiome with an army of good bacteria. This bacteria acts as a thick, protective lining over their intestinal walls. If a bad pathogen or a virus enters their body, the good bacteria outcompetes it and destroys it before it can make your puppy sick. If you cannot find pet-safe raw goat's milk at your local pet store, you can go right to your human grocery store and buy plain, unsweetened milk kefir. Do not buy flavored kefir, and make absolutely certain there are no artificial sweeteners like xylitol in it. Xylitol is deadly to dogs. And here is a quick vet secret. Always serve goat's milk or kefir cold or at room temperature. Never heat it up, because high heat will instantly destroy all those delicate living probiotics that we are trying to get into their gut. Now, how much do you actually give them? For a small breed puppy under 10 lbs, 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon a day is plenty. Medium pups between 10 and 30 lbs do great with 1 to 2 tablespoons. And for large breeds over 30 lbs, aim for 2 to 4 tablespoons daily. Kefir is a fermented milk drink that boasts over 30 strains of live probiotics. Stirring this into their kibble acts as the ultimate gut primer. By doing this in their puppy phase, you are actively teaching their immune system how to behave. A strong, balanced gut is the absolute best insurance policy against a lifetime of chronic, expensive skin allergies. Having a puppy is exhausting because you have to train them constantly. You have to potty train them, crate train them, teach them to sit, and teach them not to chew on your favorite shoes. You are desperately hoping that they are smart enough to learn these things quickly. My friends, trainability isn't just about endless repetition. It is about neurobiology. If you want a smart, focused, highly trainable puppy, you have to literally feed their brain. During the puppy phase, your dog's brain and their eyes are growing at a completely astronomical, explosive rate. To physically build new neurological pathways and healthy eye tissues, their body absolutely requires specific molecular building blocks. The two most important building blocks for canine cognitive development are DHA, which is a marine omega-3 fatty acid, and choline. If a puppy does not get enough DHA during this massive growth window, their learning capacity is literally stunted. Their memory is poorer, and they are much more likely to be highly anxious, easily distracted, or hyperactive. We must fuel the brain. So, where do we get this brain fuel? We open up your refrigerator and we pull out a fresh cooked egg, specifically the egg yolk. The egg yolk is nature's absolute perfect multivitamin for a growing mammal. Egg yolks are the ultimate highly bioavailable source of choline. Choline acts as a critical neurotransmitter in the brain, vastly improving your puppy's cognitive function, their muscle control, and their memory retention. When you feed them choline, you are literally making it biologically easier for them to remember that they are supposed to pee outside instead of on your rug. I recommend hard-boiling an egg or cooking it gently in a pan with absolutely no butter, salt, or seasonings. Just make sure you let that egg cool down completely before smashing it into their food so we don't burn their sensitive little mouth. For dosage, small puppies under 10 OD weight only need a quarter of a cooked egg yolk twice a week. Medium pups do great with half a yolk 2 to 3 times a week, and large breeds can have a whole cooked yolk 2 to 3 times a week. Now, to get the vital DHA omega-3s for their eyes and brain, we use a tiny bit of marine-based oil. A little canned sardine in water with absolutely no salt added is phenomenally high in DHA. Half a sardine for small dogs, or 1 whole sardine for larger breeds once or twice a week, is plenty. If you don't like the smell of fish in your kitchen, you can buy a high-quality pet-safe krill oil, or small fish omega-3 oil pump from the pet store and add a quick squirt to their dinner. By combining the choline from the egg yolk with the DHA from the marine oils, you are giving their brain exactly what it craves. You will be absolutely stunned at how much faster they pick up on your commands. Now, we arrive at the most physically critical part of a puppy's development. If you own a medium, large, or giant breed puppy, like a golden retriever, a German shepherd, a Labrador, or a Great Dane, I need you to listen to this very, very carefully. Puppies grow terrifyingly fast. They go from being 5 lbs to 50 lbs in what feels like the blink of an eye. But their skeleton is incredibly fragile during this time. At the end of every single long bone in your puppy's body, there is a soft, vulnerable area of cartilage called a growth plate. As the puppy gets older, these soft growth plates multiply and turn into solid, hard bone, extending the length of the dog's legs. Eventually, depending on the breed size, these growth plates close and turn completely into solid bone. The massive danger lies in the puppy phase, before those plates close. If a puppy grows too fast or lacks the correct connective tissue support in their diet, these soft growth plates can be easily damaged, warped, or misaligned. This is exactly how irreversible, lifelong conditions like hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia, and early-onset arthritis begin. To protect the growth plates, we do not want to force them to grow faster. We want to pad them, shield them, and give the connective tissues ultimate elasticity. We do this by pouring collagen into their bowl. And the best, most bioavailable way to feed a puppy collagen is through pure, unseasoned bone broth. Real bone broth is the magical elixir of the skeletal system. When you slow cook bones in water, it pulls out massive amounts of collagen, gelatin, glucosamine, and chondroitin. When your puppy drinks this, these compounds travel directly through the bloodstream to their joints. It acts like a thick, lubricating, shock-absorbing gel around those fragile growth plates, protecting them while the bones stretch and solidify. Here is how to do it safely. Take a splash of warm, never-hot bone broth and pour it right over their dry kibble. For small pups, 1 to 2 tablespoons is great. Use a 1/4 cup for medium breeds and up to a 1/2 cup or full cup for giant breed puppies. Just make sure all these toppers combined make up less than 10% of their total daily food allowance. Let it soak into the kibble for a minute. Not only does this protect their joints, but the moisture forces your puppy to stay perfectly hydrated, flushing out their tiny developing kidneys. But here is my massive vet warning. You absolutely cannot buy pre-made human chicken broth or soup stock from the grocery store aisle. Human commercial broth is heavily seasoned with onions and garlic. Alliums, like onions and garlic, are violently toxic to dogs. They destroy canine red blood cells and will cause fatal anemia. You must only use a plain bone broth specifically made for pets from the pet store, or simply throw some plain, raw, unseasoned chicken or beef bones into a slow cooker at home with water and simmer it for a day. It's cheap, incredibly safe, and the ultimate joint shield. Now, before you run to the kitchen to build this Super Bowl tonight, I need to leave you with one critical veterinary rule. A puppy's stomach is incredibly sensitive. If you dump kefir and egg yolk and bone broth into their bowl all at once tonight, I guarantee you'll be waking up at 3 in the morning to clean up explosive diarrhea off your rug. We want to avoid tummy drama, so take it slow. Start tomorrow morning with just a tiny 1/4 teaspoon of kefir mixed into their kibble. Do that for 3 days and check their stool. If their poop stays firm, great. Next week, add a tablespoon of bone broth. A few days later, introduce a little bit of cooked egg yolk. Going slow gives their gut time to adapt safely. And if your puppy already has a sensitive stomach or a known allergy, don't worry. It's super easy to swap these out. If they can't handle dairy, skip the goat's milk or kefir entirely and sprinkle a dairy-free canine probiotic powder onto their kibble instead. If they have a chicken or egg allergy, swap the egg yolk for a squirt of algae-based omega-3 oil to get that same brain-boosting DHA, and stick to beef or pork bone broth. Now, while your puppy is standing there enjoying these delicious new toppers in their bowl, we can use mealtime for our final life-changing training hack. Every single day, I have grown adult dogs come into my clinic who are absolutely terrified of me. They growl when I try to look in their ears. They snap at the technicians when we try to clip their nails. And it turns every vet visit into a traumatic, expensive, highly stressful event for the owner. This happens because the dog was never properly desensitized to being touched in vulnerable places when they were a puppy. So, I'm going to teach you how to prevent your dog from ever acting aggressive at the vet or the groomer using their dinner bowl. When a puppy is eating something incredibly delicious, like their kibble covered in egg yolk and bone broth, their brain is experiencing a massive spike of dopamine and extreme joy. While they are standing there, completely distracted by how amazing their food is, I want you to kneel down next to them. I want you to gently pick up their front paw, massage their toes, squeeze their little nails gently. They might pull their paw away at first, but keep doing it gently while they eat. Then, reach up and gently massage the inside flap of their ear. Gently lift their upper lip to expose their teeth and rub their gums. By doing this every single day while they eat, you are completely rewiring their psychological associations. You are teaching their brain that having their paws grabbed, their ears touched, and their teeth examined is directly connected to the extreme joy of eating delicious food. By the time they grow up and you take them to the vet for a checkup or to the groomer for a nail trim, they won't even flinch. They will stand there perfectly relaxed, associating your handling with pure positivity. It is the absolute easiest, most life-changing training hack you will ever do. Raising a puppy is exhausting, but the fact that you sat through this proves you are an incredible pet parent. If this guide has changed the way you look at your puppy's bowl and helped ease your worries, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. We are uncovering the vital health secrets that ensure our companions live long, vibrant lives. Let's build a healthier future for your pet together. The next chapter of our journey will begin soon. Give your puppy a hug for me. Trust the science, and I will see you in the next video.